Welcome to the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network. Join us each week as we go inside Forest Park basketball with head coach Drew Messmer. Now for the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
And welcome to this week's Drew Messmer Show. And Coach, last week you took on the Crawford County Wolfpack. You came away a 56-35 winner in your season opener. Why don't you recap that game for us?
Yeah, we went on the road, first game of the year, down at Crawford County. It was pretty well as to be expected. You know, pretty good crowd on hand. Tough place to play. That they were physical. That they worked hard. But we got off to really what I'd call a dream start. Jaceburg started the game out, scored our first 10 points for us, drove and dumped it down to our big guy for an easy bucket, and then hunted the paint and kicked it out to Carter Henson, who hit a three, and I think we scored a basket after that. So we were off to a 17-2 start, and Coach Hayes called a timeout, and, he really couldn't start much better than that. But coming out of the timeout, as you would expect at the varsity level, they kind of punched us back, and they were able to fight and claw their way back to get it within 24-19, actually, with about 5.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. I didn't even realize it at the time, but neither team scored the rest of the half from the 5:28 mark, I believe. So, just some things that we've got to clean up and stuff. We had a few careless turnovers there that kind of lost some of our momentum, as well as our rotations weren't, the way, the speed that they need to be at. But they had a couple of nice players. Number 30, he hit several shots against us. And then they had another kid, the Nicholson kid, that I think he was maybe 4 for 15 shooting, but I want to say he had close to 15 points on us. I'd have to relook at the book. But they fight and they scrap and they work hard. I think I said last week when we previewed what we needed to do, I think I had mentioned that we needed to rebound the basketball, that was something that looked like a weakness coming off of that Bloomfield scrimmage. And we responded well. We out-rebounded them 45-27. Jaceburg ended up finishing with 23 points. Reed Howard had 10 points and 9 rebounds. So just, a bunch of guys that really played their role, and for it being the first game of the year on the road, I thought that they played well. I wouldn't call it a surprise, but we got a great performance by senior guard Carter Henson. He hit a couple of shots and took care of the basketball and just worked really hard. So was really proud of him for that effort, and got some younger guys, some experience. We were able to play 11 guys, 10 of which played in the first 3 quarters, I believe. So played an 11th guy in the fourth. So it was just a good overall start to the season for us.
And we did the Terry Riggs show this fall, and we talked a lot about Jaceburg then, and I think we'll be talking about him this winter too.
Absolutely. That's what the newspapers wanted to talk about Jace, and rightfully so. After a performance where he gets you off to a start like that, he's got to work on his consistency. There's no question about it. He scored our first 10 points, and then I don't know that he scored again until the fourth quarter. So really, he scored in the first, scored in the fourth, had 23 points. He's just a really explosive scorer, but just getting to be more in tune to play a 32-minute game is really what we're striving for, and that would be something that he's heard several times from our coaching staff, and he's getting better each day at being consistent. So as long as he keeps battling, I don't think it's out of the question to have some pretty major, 2023 may be an average number for him if he can put it together.
And we're back on the Drew Messmer Show right after these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Miller Brosper Communications.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Do you have old videotapes and films sitting around your house? Let Milligan Communications convert them to DVD for you. VHS, VHS-C, 8mm, or Beta. If they are videotapes, Milligan Communications can do them all. They can also convert 8mm, Super 8, and 16mm film. DVDs would make a great Christmas gift. Call Milligan Communications today, 812-630-2449 for more information.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
This is the most important, amazingest game ever played in the universe. The pitcher is fierce. Danny Roberts is up at bat. And the crowd goes wild! He just won the game! Let's go! Yes!
We protect the car you drive.
Go get him, Danny.
And the dreams that drive you. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
And welcome back to the Drew Messmer Show. And Coach, this Friday you're going to be heading down to Petersburg to take on the Pike Central Chargers. You started 1-0 this season. Why don't you preview that game for us?
Yeah, Pike Central, they're a dangerous team. I think that they can make some noise in that sectional up there. I guess it's at Southbridge this year, but I think that they can compete, and they're a dark horse to win that thing. A lot of people want to talk about North Davies and Heritage Hills, and rightfully so, in Washington, but Pike Central, they're no slouch for sure. They've got three guys that can really play. They're led by two junior guards, Julian Gitt and Quade Morton, both guys that I would assume they're gonna go over the 1,000-point mark. They're really good. They're just really good basketball players. They know how to score the ball. They're athletic. They're quick. They can shoot it. They're two of the better guards in the conference, and then they've got another kid, 6'6" senior Kendrick Syracuse, that can really shoot the basketball. And maybe that I wouldn't say they make me nervous, but I've seen them play on a high level from being at Heritage Hills last year when we went on the road up to Pike Central, and they were able to beat us again when I was at Heritage Hills last year. So that's when those guys were two sophomores and a junior. So that they've made improvements to their game along the way. They just can really score the basketball. I believe, I could be wrong, I got unofficial stats texted to me, but I believe those three combined for 54 of their, 64 points, I guess it would have been. So, those three guys are really their big three, and we've got to be, way more in tune defensively to know where guys are at, and just understand that if you turn your head from your guy and he relocates and he's in a catch and shoot situation, that it's probably going to be 3 points. So they're going to challenge us in a lot of ways. For us on the defensive end, it's going to be a challenge, especially with what our guys want to do with holding guys to 47 points and under. Crawford County, we were able to hold them to 35. So hopefully we can carry a little bit of those or that defensive momentum into this game. And then just, it's got to be better than what it was before, right? You're trying to build from game to game and just keep making improvements. So, those three guys are definitely at the top of the scouting report. They got a couple other guys that can step in there and hit shots. We're just hoping that on the flip side, we can take some of these things away, rotate quick, more quickly, like I just discussed. But offensively, I think that we can challenge them as well. I think that we can get them in some rotation situations that they may not be comfortable with, and hopefully we can take advantage of that and, just step up and hit shots and shoot the ball with confidence.
And we're back on the Drew Messmer Show to preview the Saturday game against Tell City. After these messages from our sponsors, you're listening to Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Messmer Communications.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Do you have old videotapes and films sitting around your house? Let Milligan Communications convert them to DVD for you. VHS, VHS-C, 8mm, or Beta. If they are videotapes, Milligan Communications can do them all. They can also convert 8mm, Super 8, and 16mm film. DVDs would make a great Christmas gift. Call Milligan Communications today, 812-630-2449 for more information.
When you think sporting goods, think no further than All Star Sports in Ferdinand. Custom embroidery, screen printing, team uniforms, sports equipment, and sports apparel and shoes. We have it all. Give Brad a call today at 812-367-1618 or visit them in the Country Plaza Shopping Center in Ferdinand. All Star Sports is open Monday through Friday 10 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 4. All Star Sports, when you're thinking sporting goods.
And welcome back to the Drew Messmer Show. And Coach, Saturday you head down to Tell City, another PAC foe, to take on the Marksmen. Why don't you preview that game for us?
Yeah, it'd be our third game of the season and our third game on the road. First opportunity to play in a back-to-back, situation. So we'll be curious to see how our guys are able to respond and see where their conditioning's at after playing, what will be guaranteed to be a hard-fought game at Pike Central. So kind of see where we're at conditioning-wise and where our focus can be having to play a back-to-back night, which we're looking forward to that challenge. Tell City, they're a team where I just got their official roster today. They had 8 sophomores listed on their varsity team, a junior and a senior. So, they're going to be young, but again, having experience seeing these guys last year at Heritage Hills, I remember them having 3 or 4 freshmen playing last year in pretty big roles. So I would imagine that, similar to us, that their best days are ahead of them in terms of this season. They will not be the same team when if we play them in the sectional. They will not be the same team in March as what they are on December 3rd. So, I look for them to be much improved by that time. But, it's a varsity basketball game. We got to be ready to compete at that level. Again, just seeing where we're at conditioning-wise, to see if we can be mentally and physically sharp enough to continue to rotate and rebound and do all those things that we discussed with our kids, as well as, are we going to have the legs to hit shots, hit free throws, have that burst on offense to get by a guy, to force them into rotation situations. So just a lot of question marks that we've not, our kids haven't had a chance to prove themselves or not at this point. So we're looking forward to that challenge. They've got a new coach, so I'm sure that he's in the similar boat to what I am, where you're getting your stuff in, but it's not perfect yet, but it's probably on the way. So just looking forward to compete again with the varsity level competition just after going from not playing till the Wednesday before Thanksgiving till Friday. So having about a 9-day stretch off, we'll be ready to go and ready to play somebody else. So we're just looking forward to it.
And this weekend you got 2 PAC games, but then you got 4 out of the conference games right after this.
Yes, we've got 4 out of conference games. Really, we have 5 non-conference games after this. 6, I guess. We've got Lagodi, we've got DuBois, we've got the Graver Post tournament, or I guess the North Davies, the Bobcats. Whatever it is, and then Evansville Memorial. So, yeah, that's obviously really important for us with some of our goals is to start 2-0 in the PAC. That would be a great step in the right direction. And like I said earlier, Tell City is a sectional opponent, so having the opportunity to play Crawford County and Tell City, 2 sectional opponents in our first 3 games, that's, obviously our goal should be to go 5-0 against sectional opponents throughout the season to prove where we want to be at, come the sectional. So I think it's a good opportunity to show where we're at.
And the PAC, it's a humongous conference and a very powerful conference. And who do you think some of the players are in that this early on?
Oh, I mean, I've said it earlier. I think Pike Central is no joke. I mean, I think that they have 3 guys that can really play. Obviously, Heritage Hills, they've got a lot of talent down there with Trent Sisley, and then they've got shooters all over the place. So they may be young, but they've got a ton of talent surrounding them as well. I even think a team like Princeton may surprise some people. They've got a really strong junior class. They've got a sophomore that can really play. So, I mean, I think that they could make some noise. I mean, I'm not, again, it is a deep conference, so with so many good teams, but you can never, ever sleep on Gene Miller at Washington. I mean, you just can't. Every time you think, well, they lost too much, they turn around and they're better the next year. So he does an incredible job, and they'll always be right there in the hunt.
Okay, and Coach, good luck this week, and go get 2 PAC victories.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Joe.
And you're listening to the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brunswick Communications. We'll see you next week.
This is the most important, amazingest game ever played in the universe. The pitcher is fierce. Danny Roberts is up at bat. And the crowd goes wild. He just won the game. Let's go! Yes!
We protect the car you drive.
Go get him, Danny.
And the dreams that drive you. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.